Welcome once more to Kyekyirade's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, a very warm akwaba to you. Today I'm sharing with you a dish that is very special to my family. It is unique. I have shared this and talked about it on my Instagram platform and other food groups that I happen to be in, and it seems a lot of people don't know about it. It's very similar to eto. It's just, I would say, sweeter, and I prefer it to eto, and I hope you enjoy it. It happens to be the last meal I prepared and what my dad eat, which he really enjoyed. And about 2 hours after that, I left for the airport. My dad passed away a few days after I returned to the States. And if there is anything that I can do in his honor for Father's Day, I thought this would be something that I would want to do. I had a very good dad. Yes. Anyone who knows my father would I will hopefully say same about him. He was a good man. He was a father to many. And when he died and his obituary was made, I had a lot of people asking me, how many children did your dad have? Yes, my dad had a lot of children. Not biological, but he had a lot that he had taken on as his own. This is called Kyekyiredekye. It's a meal that is very similar to eto, and it's like loved by my entire family. So my dad's birthday had been that same week, and I thought of making that for him, in a cake form, and for us to celebrate him. Deep in my heart, I knew it might be the very last time that I would see my dad. But I had a lot of faith and hope in God that there's nothing impossible for him to do. But as he had his own way. I'm sharing this with you in honor of his memory, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a try. If there is one thing that I would really want you to try, this is it. I can just picture how happy he was, how he enjoyed this meal, even at his sickest moment. And I will always hold that dear to my heart. So on this Father's Day, if any of you is going through what we are going through, I know people say it doesn't, you always have that pain in your heart. It might be a year, it might be a day, it might be months. No matter how long you've lived without your father, I hope that you find some comfort on this Father's Day and let the love and good memories that you have of him keep you going. And those of you with your father still alive, and all your parents, and every family member, friends, cherish every moment. Do the best by them, love them, call them, protect them. My dad used to call me every single day. There were times I would roll my eyes and be like, oh my God, I have things to do. And right after his passing, I started missing his messages. I started missing his phone calls. So cherish the moment. Love your family members. Give them everything, because the day is coming that you would want to do everything possible to bring them back to live this moment, and it's not going to be able to come true. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing men out there. We cherish you, and God bless you abundantly. Kyekyirede is the name of this meal, and it's very similar to eto, like I said. And of course, you will need your fermented fish, which is momone, for that as well. And this is the rest of the ingredients. As you can see, it's almost everything you will need for eto, except this powdered fish, some beans that I'm cooking at this moment, black-eyed peas. It's part of the meal. And I'll list everything in the description box for you. So I start off by peeling my plantains, and yes, they are riper, and so it's going to be softer than your average eto, and that is why we put the powdered fish in it to give it back some texture. And that is what I like most about it. The aroma of the powdered fish when it's toasted in that, it's so good. It is good, and I really hope you give this a try. So I'm going to peel all my 4 plantains and boil it. And like we do it, you add your pepper. This is just 1 pepper I'll use. I've washed my eggs and I'm going to cook all these in one pot. You know, it's time saving, energy saving. So I've covered my pot and I'll bring it to a boil. Whilst I'm cooking my plantains, I am going to toast my herring. That is the powdered herring. Normally, if I was blending this on my own using my food processor, I will let it be a little bit coarse. That way you bite into the fish as you eat the food. But this is very fine, smoothly blended for shito, and it's still good. That is all I had for today. But try to make it a little coarse if you're making it at home. So you toast it out until it's turning into like a little brownish, and you will smell it. You will know it's cooked. It smells so good when it's toasted. And now I'm melting my palm oil. That is 1/3 of my onion sliced, as well as momone that I put in the oil. And this is to help bring out the flavors more. So the fermented fish will dissolve or disintegrate, and it brings out a lot of flavor. That plus the caramelized onion. And now my plantains are cooked. So I'm going to strain and take out the pepper, and that is what I've put in the earthenware pot with another 1/3 of my onions, some salt to help, you grind faster. And so I'm going to grind this until it's smooth, almost like this. And then I'm going to add my groundnuts. You could actually add peanut butter or groundnut paste if that's what's available to you, or just buy your store-bought groundnuts. As you can see, I've peeled my groundnuts at this time, and I'm going to try and grind until it's a little smooth, but not all that smooth. That's why I don't use peanut butter. I always want a little texture, but you're welcome to use peanut butter if it's faster and or that's all you have. And now I'm pouring in my palm oil with a caramelized onion and dissolved momone, and this is where all that flavor in your dish is going to come from. And I give it a little stir. I always put the palm oil in before the plantain. I used to do the other way around, and I know probably most people will, but I figured it's smoother and easier to blend so the plantain doesn't, mash. So the plantain doesn't stick in the bottom of the earthenware bowl, make it hard for you. So you see it's smooth because the oil is like greasing the earthenware pot, and it's not going to be sticking onto it. So I did 4 at first, so 4 pieces. That is like 2 plantains. And once it's mashed enough, because I don't want it to be lumpy, that's what I do the other 4. And so this is the last of the plantains, and I'm going to mash these. And I have to say, you want to mash your plantain when it's very hot. So when you take it off the stove, leave it covered. Even when you're grinding the rest of your ingredients like the peppers and groundnuts and everything, make sure your plantain is still covered. At this point, I think I'm going to add my toasted herring powder and continue to mash. And this is what is going to thicken up your Kyekyirede and bring out a lot of aroma and taste. That toasted herring is what distinguishes it from eto, and you will find that out when you try it. Perfect. This is now good enough. And I tried it. It tastes good. It feels perfect. And it's time to garnish it. On goes my groundnuts or peanuts. And then I'll have some sliced onions onto it as well. And that is 1/3 of the onion. So 1/3 in the oil, 1/3 to blend, and then the other 1/3 to garnish. And I have some sliced avocado. And look at that avocado, like the other half. Is that not beautiful? So my avocado is cut up and on my top now. And is this not beautiful? But we still have one more ingredient to put on. That is our black-eyed peas. And that is what I'm doing now. I just sprinkle it all over. And if you like beans, then I suggest you add it too, because it's actually part of the recipe. And with my hard-boiled eggs on top, just perfection. And it's very good. My mom heard of this on radio. She says on Capital Radio some years ago, like maybe 20 years ago. And she has been making this. Everybody knows her for this. Everybody who has had it loves it. So happy Father's Day to my dear husband and all the good dads out there. And a big one to my dad, who was a good one to the very end. We love you, Dada, and we miss you. And until I come your way next time with something good, be loving, be kind, be happy. I